Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Monday, June 22nd. We're going to take a look at the market action today and our indicators, indices, indicators, and then four stocks today. Ambarella, Facebook, JetBlue, and Yandex. These were all fairly decent movers today. Okay, so I apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit hoarse. Allergies are bothering me a little bit today. So we're going to start off here with the Dow Industrials, up 103 points, almost 104 points, and it was actually 60 points higher, backed off of that. So we closed 119.8. You can see that right here. I'm still keeping the wave count that I've got in here. And I just, we'll see how this starts to play out. I've just, I don't know, struggled to get super bullish here, but we'll see. I'm trying to stay with the market, and the same thing with the S&P 500 in here. With this wave count, looks very similar. NASDAQ is up here again, now closing again at record highs. Now, this is not a really super bullish move. This is a doji type bar, and we'll see what kind of forward action we get, continued thrust off of that we get. We're not in the overbought, but we haven't been overbought for quite a while, since back in February, early March. And yeah, you could see, I've talked about this before, we have a tendency on this indice to get doji bars near the top, and sometimes it continues to push more, so we'll see. The next one is New York Composite. And the New York Composite, let me look at this. Okay, this backed off a little bit more, so it closed, when you look at the range for the day, it closed below the halfway mark in my mind when I look at this picture. So that tells me the bears kind of took control on this during the day, kind of the second half of the day, and sold this off. Now, it didn't get super bearish because it's still up for the day and it was still above the open. The open was right here, and it gapped up on the opening. Of course, all the indices gapped up this morning when basically everybody's getting optimistic all of a sudden, potential grease. It's like, one day it's really bearish, the next day it's really bullish, and who knows what's really going on over there. The next thing is the Russell 2000. And again, this is very similar to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 seem to be in sync. They continue to push to the high side here, continue to push up. And even though these bars aren't super bullish type bars, they're pushing higher, so you can't argue with that. Let me look at the, this is the one, I forgot about this. I had looked at this earlier. On this RSI, now this is an 8-day RSI, no, actually 10-day, I'm sorry, because I do have this in sync with my 10-day exponential moving average here. So this is a 10-day, and so what I noticed is when it gets overbought like this, and it's at 71.27, there's not been too many times in the last half dozen months, it's actually since November, that it got much more overbought. So once it got up here, reached this zone, had tendency to sell off. So that's a little bit of a caution flag. Now, okay, yeah, we got a little strong back here in November, October, November, after coming off this huge bounce, and it was basically strong thrust up, but then we didn't get anything more. And so you just, to me, that raises a little caution flag. You just have to pay attention to that. And let's see, the other one I want to take a look at is Shanghai Composite. I really think this is pulling back. This is pretty strong little sell-off here, and I know that it's corrected. I think people were saying over 10%. It looks like it. But here is the from a Elliott wave perspective. I think we've got intermediate 1, 2, 3 complete. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minor waves in this intermediate wave 3. It's now pulling back and correcting. I'm thinking it could go as low as here, which would be as low as the minor wave 4, which is around 4,100. Okay, so I'm thinking 4100 to 4250, something like that. And it actually may stop at this parallel line. This line is a parallel to the top of 1, where I draw a line between 1 and 3, and then draw a parallel to that coming from the bottom of 2. That projects a potential bottom for 4. Now, that's just a projection. Doesn't mean it has to stop there. Could come all the way down here. Could come further than that. The only rule is from Elliott wave is that intermediate wave 4 cannot overlap intermediate wave 1. Well, there's a lot of room in here. Okay, so we'll just have to continue to watch. Right now, my target would be somewhere in here. This would be the first target, stopping at the parallel line. The next target would be down here at about 4100. So we'll just watch and see what happens. We could get a nice zigzag, so we could get a little rally back here and then sell off again. And I talked about this before. This is like a flat. So, China's getting a lot of focus because it's been a huge bull move, big market. And of course, the country has a major impact on what's going on in the world. All right, let's take a look at our indicators real quick. Short-term trading index. Let me go back over here. Here we go. Okay, so nothing new here. 1.07. The blue line's right in the middle. The VIX got hammered again today because, of course, when the market's up, the VIX down. And it was down 1.22, closing at 12.74. Let's see if we're getting any divergence. Not seeing anything there. Not seeing anything here. I mean, it's just kind of staying in this range internally, not getting to an extreme and not really showing anything. And then the last one we'll take a look at tonight, indicators, the high-low. And the high-low actually pushed. So it is thrusting up here, got above this point here. I talked about this, a series of lower highs. Now all of a sudden we've got this high-low pushing up here. 123 more new highs for the day than new lows. So that's somewhat of a bullish sign in here. We'll see how much influence that has. All right, let's take a look at the 4 stocks we're looking at tonight. The first one is Ambarella. Ambarella really got killed today. It was down about 22% on the top of a move here. Now, I'm thinking in my wave count, I had this. I just didn't create this tonight. I actually had this intermediate 1 and 2, and I was looking for a 3 up here. So I'm looking for intermediate 3 to have stopped right up here. And so I'm really looking at this as a potential intermediate 4 pulling back. And the real question is, how far is it going to pull back? And then that means that there would be another 5th wave up. Okay, if I've got this wave count right, yeah, we've got one more wave up to go on this thing. So pretty sharp little correction back though. And again, the rule is if this wave count is correct, we should not go below the high here, 77.39. Of course, that's quite a ways. I mean, that's another 17 points, 17 points down. Yeah, that's right. I think that math's right. Anyway, we'll continue to watch this and see if that wave count looks correct. Facebook was a big mover today. Nice move to the upside. Looked like we had a little bit of an ascending triangle consolidation. From a wave count perspective, I think we've had primary wave 5. I think we're doing some kind of corrective action in here. It's very hard to once you get into this kind of corrective action, it's very hard to judge what's really going on. Now, we've got these previous highs in here that I think is going to form resistance. This dotted line here is a projection coming out of this ascending triangle. Okay, so I'm projecting up in here and then run resistance. So I think like 85.5 to 86 is where I think this is going to run into some overhead resistance on Facebook. So we'll continue to watch that. The next one that was a big mover today was JetBlue Airways. Haven't really looked at this in a long time, so the count I've got on this is I think that we're in a 5th intermediate wave. This is let's step back and look at. All right, so here's all the trading I have on JetBlue, and here's the down here 2009, and so really I'm counting from this point here, this wave structure, this big move that's going on From this point here, I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in a fifth intermediate, and then we've got minor waves 1, 2, 3, 4 working. So I think we're working a fifth minor wave up within intermediate wave 5. So the real question is how far. I think it should exceed this previous high for sure, and I think there's a good chance it might run up around 28 or so based on the Fibonacci projections that I have. So right now, JetBlue looks beautiful, nice higher highs, higher lows, just tracking right to the upside, and we'll see how much further that fifth wave goes. And then the last one we're going to take a look at is one going totally in the opposite direction, Yandex. Yandex just continues to get hammered to the downside. And when you look at the bigger picture on Yandex, let's show all the trading I've got. I had drawn this line a long time ago, and this looks like a huge head and shoulders consolidation. It's pretty, I mean, when I first drew it, I thought, okay, it's almost too big to believe to a certain degree, but it sure seems to be playing out right now. It came all the way down here to, what is that, a little less than 14, 13.9. Get this big snapback rally, and now we've rolled back down over again, and it's the short-term, intermediate, and long-term moving averages are all aligned down, and it was down 0.51 today, and I think that was like 4.5% or something. Maybe no, I guess we're not that much, a little less than 3%. But again, it looked, trending, just kind of rolling over, and it could be getting ready to, do one of these kind of things, like what it did back here in December. So that's the picture on Yandex, and that's the 4 stocks for tonight. If you're watching this anywhere else besides my website, head on over there, check out the posts. Had a neat post this weekend about golf and trading. Maybe some of you are into golf. If you're not, you ought to check it out anyway, because I think there's some good analogies, good thoughts to take away. And boy, I tell you what, I was watching that U.S. Open tournament yesterday. It was fabulous. It was great to see. It was tough for Dustin Johnson, but it was great to see our guy Jordan Spieth win here. And I say our guy because he's from Dallas. So anyway, that was a fun tournament to watch, and it was always fun to think about the U.S. Open on Father's Day weekend, and that's why I wrote the post that I did. So check that out. I will be back Wednesday night with another market update. Everyone have a great Tuesday, Wednesday. Thanks for stopping in.